There we go. So today will be about the bench press. I'm actually enjoying doing those videos, and I hope you do as well. So we're going to decompose the bench press as a technique and what I can improve on. So this is 120 kilo for 3 reps. I am a long way from where I need to be. So you know my max was 175 kilos, about like 395 pounds. At the time I was 110 kilos, and so that means I'm 15 to 20 kilos heavier than I am now. At the time I was, a good 110, 112 when I benched that, and being at 97 right now, so let's say 15 kilos, right? And no matter what they tell you, size matters. When it comes to bench pressing, size definitely matter. You need, if you want to bench press more, you need to get bigger, as in more muscle. There's just no question around it. So let's go over the technique for a second. So what am I looking for here? So first things first, we're going to go at this, right there, right here. This is called a suicide grip for good reason. I would advise you don't try. If at any moment during the bench you have an issue and you are not stable, this bar will come down this way, which is never a good idea. So don't do what I do, trust me. I like it better for different reasons. That doesn't mean, that does not mean it's a good idea. So where was I? What am I looking at as well? Oh yeah, right. So we're going to look at the arch over there, and then what the legs are doing. So why am I arching this so much? Actually, arching is very, very good for you for many reasons. It saves your shoulder. The angle, the flat back, like, you know, with your back as flat as the bench like this, puts those babies right here in a very, let's say, not bad position, not something is bad, but not the optimal position. It can put a lot of stress on your shoulders and everything. This particular arch like this allows me to load this part of my pec almost like a little decline. It decreases the pressure on the shoulders tremendously, and I highly, highly advise you do that. On top of it, it's going to allow me to load my lats on the way down like crazy, and that is something you need to do. It's not good for you, you need to do. As I'm going to lower the weight that way, I'm going to engage my lats more and more in order to load like a spring so that I can explode off my chest in order to bench press. On top of that, my legs are under tension the entire time. You can tell from my VMO that at all moments during the bench, I am trying to keep my legs under tension. So if you see this part right there relaxing at any moment, that means I am not doing a good job. So as you can tell right there, the muscle, when I press, is very much under tension. I'm pressing through my foot like crazy, as you can tell from the shaking in my left foot. So we have the arch, we have the legs engaged, we have the shoulder blades that actually are stuck. I'm engaging my lats on the way down. I'm exploding off the chest on the way up. So everything is good. One thing we can look at as well is this position at the bottom. So as I touch, and by the way, in competition I would have to touch a bit more, you're going to see that from my hips right here, that my hips, like right here, I'm going to use my legs even more in order to drive the bar off my chest, which you want to do. So I'm actually not pushing my hips up. I'm pushing my hips this way. I'm trying to drive myself off the bench, right? So everybody's going that way. Most people try to go this way with the hip, it's a mistake. Then your butt right there is going to come off the bench. First of all, in competition, it means it's not a good lift. But on top of it, you are not transferring the weight of your legs into the barbell. So that means that whenever I'm going to push off, I'm going to push this way, right off the bench. What is keeping me on the bench is the fact that the weight is pinning me down. If there was no weight and pushing my legs of this style, I would actually come off the bench. Another thing we're going to look at is the angle of my forearms, which is pretty much perpendicular to the bar. that makes me a fairly narrow bench presser. If you look, I'm going to zoom in, and if we look at this baby right here, you would see that my pinky is on the ring. That makes me a narrow bench presser. Again, like most people will have either the ring finger or the fuck you finger onto that ring right there. So me, it's my pinky and kind of the inside of the ring. So I'm a fairly narrow bench presser, and that's how I bench 175. But what I like about this is, again, my forearms are perpendicular, almost perpendicular to the ground, and that means a lot less pressure on the shoulders. It allows me to load my lats very effectively on the way down, right? Use the pecs to drive the bar off my chest. And so let's divide this movement into two things. So first of all, three things. First of all is I'm going to load on the way down. So as you can tell, all there, I can tell you like it's all my lats. All the way here are my lats. And now I'm going to use my legs, drive off the chest. Up to here, you'll see the path changes. You can tell from my elbows. So if we're looking right here, look at where my elbows go. They go there, and then they start shooting out. Here, I'm working really hard on keeping my elbows in. Is my elbow staying as in as I would like? No, and we're going to talk about that presently. But here, as you shift, then as you see, like they come this way, and then they go up. When they go up from here, there, my arm goes up. You can see there's actually a small turn. This is actually internal torque. Here I'm in internal torque. This part right there, I'm in external torque. So it's external torque, external, internal. And this is where the shift happens. You can tell, by the way, as the shift happens, this hip is doing something it should not be. I'm losing tension. See that? I'm losing tension. That's something I need to work on. So anyway, we go from external torque to here. You see that from the direction of the elbow. The elbow goes up and that way. At least that's what I'm trying to do. And then once I reach this position right here, the elbow goes straight up. Right? So external torque into internal torque. And really it's a push press. If you look at it like this, I'm using my legs like crazy off the chest, and then I lock out just like a push press. So the key here is that first face of my chest, that is the problem, that I have a big chest, but I have an issue that we're going to focus on today. And it's external torque on my left shoulder. And how does it show? What I want to show you, and then I think it shows even more in real speed, is where is my problem when it comes to external torque on the left shoulder. How does it show? Well, like some people say it's a shoulder issue and stuff like that. It's none of that. What is happening really, like on the comments about my stuff, like if you look, what I want you to focus on really, external torque, internal torque. The whole issue is simple. It's right there. I have very weak biceps. If you go here, look how much it's shaking. So you need to understand the role of the bicep, that short head, its role is to stabilize the weight, right? It's going to help me lower the weight and push off the weight. So first of all here, as I'm starting to load my lats, right? Look how much the bicep is shaking. Look at this part right here, which is completely soft and not under the tension it should be in. There's no connection right here, which means is it attachment or the insertion? I never know. I can never remember. But this part right here is just jiggling in the way that it shouldn't. I have weak biceps. I always did. I work on them, and there's still a weakness, especially on the left side. And it is not a coincidence that the weakness on the left bicep and the external torque on the left shoulder is at play. It's because the internal torque stabilizes for the external torque to take place. If you can't have internal torque, you won't have good external torque. That's exactly what's happening. So as I go down there, you see it. Look how much this baby is moving. That's crazy. Look at that. So I'm going off the chest like it's already moving, but so that stabilization right here. So what I would like really is to keep that elbow right here toward us. You see that motion right there? Bonk, coming, so like the elbow is coming this way almost. That's almost like an adduction of the elbows. This is to create the bar path like a push press of my chest this way, right? Slightly toward the back. And I want to keep doing that with the elbows, except right here, you can tell how much everything fluctuates. And you know why? Because that baby right here can't take it. That's why I want to keep see that? I want to keep the elbows like there. See that? Let me point it out. Look at there. Look at this. There. See like the translation of the elbow? So if you look just as the elbow right here, it ends up there. Like if we were to redraw the line we had at the beginning, this is the line I want to maintain, right? And my elbow goes completely out. I want to maintain that line and I'm going there. And the reason I fluctuate so much right there is because again, that bicep cannot take the load. And look at that. Look how much it's moving. It's crazy. Look how much. Like you would, look at how jiggly this is. Like I can tell you something, you're bench pressing what is a heavy weight for 3 reps. I know 120 kilo is not heavy, but it's heavy for me right now. And look at that. Look how much my bicep is jiggling like it's made of fat. It's crazy. There's no muscle. Look at this thing. Look at this shit. There's like no muscle. So is it a wonder I'm shaking everywhere? I'm incapable of stability. Look at me. No, but seriously. Look at that. It's embarrassing. And so if you see it, now that I showed you, look at it in live action, and look how poor it is on the left biceps. It's amazing. Do you think I need to do work there? That short head, first of all, by the way, that short head is barely engaged. Look at that. Look at the softness around there, right? Sorry, around there, I mean. Like there's a thickness and a hardness to the tricep that you just don't see on the bicep. That's another thing. The short head is just not there. And so as I go down, look how much it's moving. Jesus Christ, dude. All right, you should not have that. And so the problem with that is that I cannot keep, so you can tell like this is actually a bit more pumped now, because it's my 3rd rep and the bicep has to actually work. But it was under so much stress during the 3 reps, like my forearms are doing all the work. Look how pumped those babies are. Look at the thickness and then the hardness of all this part right here. So I'm talking about like from here to there, right? Like you can see like the development of the muscle, and then this baby here, nothing. This is a weakness I need to work on. So when I bench press like that, and you see the really normal motion, things are moving that should not be moving. I just do not have the bicep. And so, again, the problem is this lack of stabilization from my bicep is going to murder my bench and not allowing me to achieve the speed that I should be achieving. I could get so much more speed out of my legs. That external torque movement that I'm getting is crazy, and it's lost in translation through the bicep that just cannot stabilizing that weight. And look, on the 2nd rep it's moving more, and then on the 3rd rep it's moving even more, right? And that's where I lose so much speed, and there's a lot of progress that I need to make right there. Like that, those biceps need to come out. It's actually a lot better on the right, but it's a nightmare on the left. Like that short head on the left is always a problem. And so this is where we're going to see external torque on the left hip, external torque on the left shoulder. Why? Because I do not have the structure in internal torque to stabilize the movement properly, allowing me to fully express my strength. This felt light in my hands, and you can tell I just can't stabilize it. So halfway through, like that first part, like right there, I'm here and it's not doing what I want, because my elbow right at this moment is going, I don't want him to go out so much. You know, like we're going to go back to that line right here. I want him to stay along that line. So he starts here and he's coming way out, way too much. This right here, it becomes a side delt movement, right? I'm supposed to push through my tricep, and what I'm doing is involving the side delt a lot. And that's because the bicep can't do it. But the side delt is not supposed to help you that much on the bench press. That's a really bad idea. What I want instead is I want the triceps to do the work. And so that's what I need to work on. The bicep has to be better, or at least I have to find a way to train my biceps better, because I feel they're making progress, but they're not making the progress they should be making. So more work to do. In the meantime, here's my analysis on my bench press and why I suck still at the moment. Thank you, everybody.